If you always do what interests you, at least one person is pleased. This was once said by the great Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn was one of the strongest and best actresses starting in 1930 until her final performance in 1981. Katharine Hepburn was a strong and powerful woman who effectively every day tried to make sure people felt equal in the world. Katharine Hepburn was an inspiration. Katharine Hepburn was an inspiration because Katharine Hepburn inspired her co-stars, Katharine Hepburn inspired our nation, and Katharine Hepburn inspired people of all ages. Katharine Hepburn was a very active and high-spirited person on screen. Katharine Hepburn inspired her co-stars. Katharine Hepburn always played roles that, even in her earliest, they were always unorthodox for her time. Because Katharine Hepburn would always play a strong-willed woman who could always stand up against any man. And in the 1930s, that was a pretty big deal. Because of this, Katharine Hepburn was able to act alongside some of the greats of that time. Some of these greats were Cary Grant, Spencer Tracy, and Humphrey Bogart. While filming the movie African Queen, Katharine Hepburn was able to inspire Humphrey Bogart to continue shooting the film while in Africa. In an article written by Jeremy Myers, it was said that Humphrey was slowly complaining about the food, the heat, and the bugs, while he was getting annoyed by Katharine because she found the whole entire experience invigorating. Because of this, because of her strong will and her ability to continue shooting, she was able to convince Humphrey that it was going to be okay and he could continue shooting. Now that I've talked to you about how Katharine Hepburn inspired her co-stars, I will talk to you about how Katharine Hepburn inspired our nation. During World War II, our nation was of course going through a hard time. During this time, the Americans were confused about how to really react to the war. Because of all of Katharine Hepburn's high comedies during this time, she was able to give America a reason to laugh. Another way that she inspired our nation during World War II was to empower women to continue progressing in the working women's area. Because women were slowly becoming empowered to actually contain and hold jobs, she inspired people to have women to have a strong head on their shoulders and continue through. Now that I've talked to you about how Katharine Hepburn has inspired our nation, I will take a look at how Katharine Hepburn has inspired people of all ages. Katharine Hepburn has always had a strong will that was easy to follow and easy to influence others. Katharine Hepburn inspired people of all ages. I know I was 9 when Katharine Hepburn first inspired me. I was watching for the first time a movie called Bringing Up Baby. In this movie, she is a silly-minded woman who tries to get the man of her dreams with help of her pet jaguar. Now, while this movie was a high comedy, I was still able to see her strong will and her ability to influence others. Another way that Katharine Hepburn inspires people of all ages is through the Katharine Hepburn Hope Center at Bryn Mawr College, where she attended. The Katharine Hepburn Hope Center was a center created because of the great works that her and her mother did throughout her lifetime. And once a year, the Katharine Hepburn Medal is awarded to any woman that is able to go into her world every day and project a beautiful image and try to empower and improve her world. Now that I've talked to you about how Katharine Hepburn has inspired people of all ages, Katharine Hepburn was a true inspiration. She always tried to help people realize that they were equal and that they could empower themselves every day just by being themselves. Katharine Hepburn once said, "Life is to be lived. If you have to support yourself, you had bloody well better find some way that is going to interest you. And if you don't, sitting around and looking at yourself isn't going to help." Katharine Hepburn was a true inspiration. Katharine Hepburn was an inspiration because Katharine Hepburn inspired her co-stars, Katharine Hepburn inspired our nation, and Katharine Hepburn inspired people of all ages. Who will you try to inspire today?